Frazier and Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left some. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
What up, folks? Welcome back. It's a brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We are streaming live on our YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page. Also, you can catch us live on our Instagram account at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast and also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And you can catch us live on Twitch as well. It's your boy Trey Frazier in the building. Got the homie Maestro Styles back, man.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff, man.
Happy New Year's while we at it.
Yes, sir. How you been, man?
Working, man. We locking in, getting ready for the new year, man. So we locked in. How you?
Oh, I'm good, man. Holidays was great. You know, shout out to the family. Hey, I thought I could escape this football season, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know we've been. You know, we've been off the past week, actually. A lot of, sicknesses is going around these days. And, for everybody that's overcoming something, definitely get well soon and, get yourself right back at 100%. Just before we got on here, we were just, we're talking about a little vacation and stuff like that. I just happened to get tickets to the Hawks-Knicks game Saturday night, right? And so I took my son on the MARTA. We, took the train downtown to the arena, got, some good seats and whatnot. And I knew the Ravens game was on same time, right? I said, you know what? I'm not even going to pay much attention to that game. I'm going to just focus on this game in front of me. Knicks got the second best record in the East right now. They rolling, good vibes in the Hawks arena. Trey Young, I think he came back. This is his first game back. He's been out for like several weeks, whatever. So, we knew he was going to get a good game out of the Hawks, whatnot. And I got to tell you, man, it's like I'm in an abusive relationship with this Ravens team, man, because it's like, and for folks that, were kind of, jumping in, Ravens couldn't control their destiny. All the Steelers had to do was beat Cleveland last week, and then they win the AFC North. Regardless of what the Ravens did with Green Bay on Saturday. So we left the arena, checked the score, and Derrick Henry is going ham on these niggas. Shout out to Tyler Huntley, for, filling in the role. But they gave that man 36 carries and 210 yards, 4 touchdowns, got the win. And it's just like, all right, cool. I'm happy for King Henry, getting his numbers, finally getting his touches after being disrespected in, the previous week against New England in the fourth quarter.
And really all season, but but go ahead.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, particularly last week, because there's been a lot of egregious moments throughout the year, but that one almost, the New England one, that almost really kind of took the cake because that was an entire quarter and not, just here and there. This was an entire, fourth quarter where you got to close the game out. So here comes Sunday, and it's like, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am not changing the channel to Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I don't care at this point. Season's over. I'll just check out maybe Seahawks, Panthers. I mean, that was one of the, games that, had some, playoff implications and whatnot, and, looking to see what, Tampa Bay was doing with the Dolphins, kind of back and forth there. And I got one thing led to another. I got tied up with some yard work, and, shout out Mom Deuce, because she always has me does yard work every time I go visit her. Did some of that stuff, came back to the living room, checked some scores out from the 1 o'clock window. And what do you know? Pittsburgh, they let one get away. And I guess I'll hand over the the microphone to you to hey man, what the hell happened on Sunday, man?
So to give my backstory, I watched the Saturday night. I said, all right, let me sit down, watch this Green Bay Baltimore game. When I realized early that they were going to do what they should have really been doing all year.
Yeah.
Cool. First half, three touchdowns, 106.5. It's like, all right, cool. That's what they should be doing. They should leave away with this game. I do want to point out though that I do sincerely believe that game would have went different had Malik Willis not got injured. Don't matter. Game had, Baltimore wins. I say, all right, cool. All we gotta do is beat.
Are you saying that they would have scored more points? Obviously,
I think I would. I think Green Bay could have stole that game if Malik Willis didn't get hurt.
Because he was from what I've seen from highlights. I mean, what's the name?
Malik Willis had a game.
He did. I want to point out Nate Wiggins having an awful game. Based on some of the stuff I saw, I think he got hit for like 2 bombs in the first half, but overall he just had a terrible night to say the least. But
well, I'm gonna say your entire secondary had a lackluster game. I'll say that. But for certain, but I think Malik Willis in that game late would have stolen that game, but didn't. He got injured. Get well soon.
Yeah,
I'm hearing all the conversation in Steelers threads talking about, because Malik Willis will be a free agent, and it's like, we should go get Malik Willis, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Goes back to the draft night a few years ago.
well, yeah, that, but also, let me be clear. If we would have drafted Malik Willis, he would have never went to Green Bay, and he never would have learned under that type of system how to quarterback. So, no, we still shouldn't have drafted him because we wouldn't have known what to do with him. And, so no. Much like what happened in Tennessee, they didn't know what to do with him.
Yep.
And that's, there goes that. But now that he got a little learning, I still don't know if I want him, but I won't go as far as say I want him to.
He has made himself some money. I will say that.
That's a fact. He will not be a backup. I don't think. Let me say he'll be a backup next year. I don't think he'll be a backup.
Yeah.
But on a Sunday, so Sunday comes, man. I wake up early, go to the gym. Do some chores. Like, all right, laid it all out. Like, all right, man. Like, I know we haven't won the past 3 in Cleveland and all that, but I'm like, nah, there's no way that we gonna come into this game with the division on the line and lose to the Cleveland Browns. That was my thought. Now I did leave a little in the back of my mind for just in case, because this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the type of season we've had all year where it's like just when you think you got it under wraps, we shit the bed. So go in there, low scoring game, cool. Bet I'm gonna go straight to it, man. I'm gonna go straight to it. And they alluded to it a bit early in the game. Aaron Rodgers is not gonna let Myles Garrett get this sack in Pittsburgh.
Can I quickly say something about that?
Yeah.
Because I've heard the commentary. I've seen B say it on social media. I've seen a few other people say that, and even Myles Garrett in the presser said that it seemed like they were more worried about not being the team to get his record on versus actually winning the game. To me, that's the most crock of shit I've ever heard, bro. Of course you're supposed to game plan for Myles Garrett. Of course you're not supposed to let him disrupt the game and sack you. Like what are we talking about here?
No, this was extra though. And I get it because that makes sense what you're saying. No, this was extra, Trey. This was extra. This was.
You watched the game, so I
right. Yeah, right. Trust me, she's not wrong. And people who watched this game saw that Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't like just game planning. It was like he was looking over his shoulder, like, "Oh, is he coming? Let me hurry up and throw the ball." Like it was that.
Regardless of the coverage, regardless of
let me not stand in the pocket yeah, if he's coming, let me get this ball out of here. Just this was bad. That's one. And let me be clear on my stance. Hey, bruh, if him getting that sack would have got you out of your head of him getting the sack, like give him the record so we can win the game, bruh. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this Sunday. I don't want to be here Sunday. I had every thought in my mind that today was going to be easy for me, and I was going to sit here and kick my feet up, AFC North Division champs, and it be just that. Let him get the record, bro. Like, is it really like? Look, I get it. The Myles Garrett versus T.J. Watt. There's some bulletin board material that I guess Myles Garrett would always have that over T.J. Watt.
But if you Aaron Rodgers, why the hell do you care? If you Aaron Rodgers,
because Aaron Rodgers is a veteran and he understands locker room culture. This is just me speculating. Because Myles Garrett and TJ Watt act like they don't care and like there's no real rivalry going on, but all their actions on social media and like it says different. There is a thing. Is it something serious where it's on site, but when you 15 years from now,
yeah,
they'll if you ask both parties, they'll say, yeah, there was something going on. Not something you fight over, not nothing, but it was a competition. There was a healthy competition between two dominant pass rushers to prove who was the better pass rusher in that era, in that time. That is a real thing. That is a real thing. So I think Aaron Rodgers was privy of that. I think that was a conversation had in the locker room. I do. Just watching how Aaron Rodgers played that game, I think that was a real thing. That's terrible. And that's terrible because maybe we could win this by a field goal if he wasn't worried about that. But here's what else I'm kind of upset at. Not kind of, very upset at. Y'all signed MVS because he has a relationship with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He knows kind of what Aaron Rodgers wants, how and all year Aaron Rodgers has been screaming at like he got on Jonnu Smith about a bad route. He got on Broderick Jones for tackling them, like, stop playing with me. He got on, like, he's constantly, like, if you watch Aaron Rodgers play, when something bad happens, meaning a receiver doesn't do what he's asked or a protection he asked for, he didn't get, he's yelling, he's cussing, he's, he getting on him. So you get MVS because this dude knows what you want, knows what you expect. And all game, at least on two separate occasions, is a situation where Tony Romo pointing out that he didn't turn his head around soon enough, because if he would have, this was some yards gained. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the game, we get to the red zone. We do what we need to do to get to the red zone, and we throw the MVS 3 times in the red zone.
Yeah, I saw that. With Denzel Ward covering him all 3 times.
Out of those 3 times, 2 times, it was very clearly MVS running the wrong route. And for me, it's like, bruh, what are you here for then? Because you're not producing crazy. You just got on the field maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like, it's just like, these games happen. It happened with Green Bay and Cleveland early in this year. Like, these games happen. Sometimes it's just a low-scoring game. But when you get an opportunity in the red zone, drove up the field, and, I think a minute 30, drove up the field, and you get that opportunity, you can't miss it 3. You can't run the wrong route 2 times. You can't do it. You can't do it, bro. Because it was pitch and catch. It was, if he ran the right route at least one of those 2 times, it's a pitch and catch. Maybe Denzel Ward makes. Denzel Ward is a good cornerback, so maybe he makes the play. But it's a high probability that MVS catches it, wins the game, or ties the or wins the game. Yeah, wins the game. Wins the game if he would have just ran the right route, and that disturbs me. That really disturbs me because we shouldn't be here right now. We shouldn't. We just shouldn't be here. It was two. The Cleveland had 2 turnovers in this game. Pittsburgh had none.
Well, the NFL got their wish. They got
They
what they
got there.
wanted.
Yeah, but let me kind of elaborate, if you will. Last time we were on this show, we spoke about the idea of, if Pittsburgh loses in Detroit
Hmm.
and Baltimore wins against New England,
Hmm.
that this week wouldn't even matter.
Yep.
It would come down to week 18.
And
Well,
the
guess
opposite
what?
happened. The
And
total
the
opposite
fucking
happened.
opposite happens. The fucking opposite happens
Hmm.
where we are in prime position where we are playing the Cleveland Browns, 3-14 Cleveland Browns, and y'all are playing the Green Bay Packers, who are still in playoff contention, so they got something to play for.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They really had something to play for in this game. So y'all were more likely to lose probability wise than we were to lose against Cleveland probability wise, because Cleveland is just not a good team, and two, they ain't had nothing to play for real outside of just the
The
whole
record.
division,
Yeah.
the whole division thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like we was in prime position to do what we needed to do, and it's some other things I could highlight in the game, but it's just like, bruh, at the end of the day, we had 3 shots to get out of there with a win and not be stressed out. But for some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers like to stress their fans out. And I ain't falling for the shit. And I
Oh
ain't
man.
falling for it. But see, it's a little different. It's a little different in Baltimore because y'all have faith in Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is your franchise.
Hopefully he plays.
Hopefully he plays.
on
Sure,
Sunday.
sure. But I'm just talking
Yeah.
about historically since he's been
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little different thing. Y'all have been a dominant team pretty much since he's been in the league. Whereas Pittsburgh, we've just been a mid team.
Mm-hmm.
We've been a mid team. Like, we'll surprise you when beat Detroit or beat Indianapolis, and then we'll lose to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. It's some other bad losses we had this year, but then we'll lose to Cleveland, and it's like, bruh, again,
or like Dallas last season.
Yeah, like we'll lose to, like, right now in December. This is the time where y'all want to do this. So no, it's not as bad as last year when we totally collapsed. You know what I'm saying? Like, our run defense is a little better than it was last year. In fact, a lot better than it was when Derek Harmon is on the field. But it's like, bruh, we lost. We lost to the Cleveland Browns. Shador did not have no good game. He was a little better. He was good in the first half, and we bottled him up in the second half. And the same thing as far as the running game. They didn't have a running game. So, like, it was really just us at the end of the day fucking ourselves.
I gotta tell you, because I told you before we got on, I got sick last weekend, and I'm down here on the couch in the basement here. I got Patriots Ravens on, and they look good. First half. Second half comes, and the whole Derrick Henry debacle in the fourth quarter. Bro, I was too sick to even really get mad that evening. It was just, okay, I'm sick. I ain't about to stress myself anymore. I ain't about to even make myself any more sick than I am now. So that's just going to be what it's going to be. Season's over. Clear everybody out. Get the head coach up out of there. Get the coordinators up out of there. Clean the house out. Like, I was just of that mindset. Like I told you, I had no intentions of watching them against Green Bay. I went to the Knicks game and all that stuff, and it's like I'm in this relationship where it's like they keep drawing me back, and it's like, Dad, like, do we have to keep going through this? I mean, not only is this game for the division this weekend, but we're the last game I mean, of course. I mean, if you had to put a bet, given what Panthers, Buccaneers, that's going to be a game for the South. Seattle, San Francisco, that's going to be a game for the number 1 seed in the conference. So at least, I mean, Seattle, San Francisco probably was a second option or another option to put as the night game for this coming weekend. But no, of course, because Pittsburgh, Baltimore has all the drama of, head coaches who could be gone, who couldn't be gone, the Lamar stuff.
I gotta stay up to fucking 11:30, 12 in the morning.
I gotta wait. Yeah, I gotta wait all day for Sunday night, like they say when the show come on there. Like, I gotta wait all day for this, And the sad part about all of it is that I'm gonna be tuned in, man. I'm probably gonna go to a watch party. As a matter of fact, what you gonna be doing, man?
I am not going to no goddamn watch party because I can't do no 12 getting home 1 in the morning and then got to get up 4 hours later to get these kids to school on Monday morning. I can't do it. I can't do it.
First day back to school at that from a vacation.
I can't do it. I love all of y'all because I know what's going on. Shout out to Rita. I love you to life. I am not going all the way out to Baltimore to have to come back and then get up 3 hours later and take them kids to school and go to my 9 to 5 and deal with the shit that go on over there. I'm going to preserve as much sleep as I can. I need to get in line with my chakras because at 12 in the morning, I'm probably going to be stressed out. Win or lose, by the way, I'm probably going to be stressed out. And I don't need to be in Baltimore for that. I don't need to be in Baltimore for that.
Let me tell you something right now. The Ravens lose this game, I'm headed out of Dodge fast in a hurry. I'm 10 minutes. Man. I'm 10 minutes from the establishment. I am getting back in the car, headed back out to the city to the crib. I am not about to be in them streets.
Man, I don't have the mental capacity to be playing like that Sunday night and then gotta get up and be productive in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast is at its best when we're bickering back and forth about these teams and who's the big bad wolf and who's the little nigga of the two. But
here's the thing, right? We just don't know right now. We just don't know right now. Right. We just don't know. I can't even like I promise you, this morning when I got up and planned my day, I was like, man, what's the angle that I'm getting ready to come at? Pause. I'm about to present. Like, how am I going to approach this episode? But I can't be like my team is some mid. The Steelers are some mid. Like, we about to have a mid battle. Like, who's more mid?
Who's more mid? Yeah.
Like what are we? Yeah, like what are we doing right now? Like, it's not. It's just. This just like the only reason that we can have a competitive conversation is because we are both mid together.
It's been terrible this year, bro.
I don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I got Pittsburgh the Steelers winning.
Listen. Like I said, I'm watching the game and I'm gonna be black and purpled out. So
I'm gonna be drunk.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm gonna be. And like my kids gonna have to hit they're gonna be, oh daddy, I'm trying to sleep. I might, I'm gonna be drunk. I'm gonna be in here drunk.
I'm gonna be stressed out, bro. I'm gonna be cheering my team on. I'm gonna be stressed out while doing it.
So hey man, but I came in, I was thinking like, man, how am I gonna turn this shit up? I'm sorry, bro. I don't have motivation to try to turn this shit up about a whole bunch of mid-ass football play.
There's nothing to turn up.
It's about to be a whole bunch of mid-ass football play. And I'm not okay with it, but it is what it is. And
Because whoever win this game next week after, when the wild card round come around, I'm gonna feel the same way coming into this week. I'm gonna feel the exact same way. I don't know what to expect from this team. in the wild
Yep.
card round.
Yep.
I have no idea what to expect. I know people want to claim, oh, we get a healthy Lamar, we could get the thing jumping. Sure, this defense some trash, man. This defense they trash, bro.
Well, it comes over, and for Pittsburgh, it comes over back to what I said in the very beginning of the year, or when Aaron Rodgers was signed. It's like, all right, yeah, like, look, maybe he's not completely washed. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting by off of sheer experience in this year. Like, he ain't doing nothing phenomenal. Like, his throws aren't the best you've ever seen. Like, he's still a talented quarterback, but this is him. This is somebody who's been in the league for 20 years, like showing his experience and and doing that, and that's what's been kind of keeping us afloat offensively. But at the end of the day, this dude doesn't propel us to be better than the creme de la creme of the AFC, and which is why I'm like, look, man, if we just get another quarterback to go into the first round and lose, like, I don't need that.
Yeah,
I don't need
I'm
that.
glad I'm glad you brought up creme de la creme. I'm glad you brought that term up, because if this thing went the other way, where Baltimore completely, wet the bed against Green Bay, and that was it for us. And, Pittsburgh, AFC North champs, going to the playoffs. I'm looking around this conference, and I got to tell you, bro, I know we talked about quarterbacks with the most experience in this conference. Josh Allen has the most experience in terms of the most successful current experience in the playoffs. I know Rodgers overall has a better resume of playoff games. It's just been 4 years? It's been about 4 years since he's been in there. Right.
He's not in his prime anymore.
Sure. But the veteran quarterbacks, you like to think, okay, they're not athletic, they can't move like they used to, but they can, they got to work with that.
Well, that's the only Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen is in his prime still.
Right. No, sure. I was ready to get on here. Like I said, if this thing went the other way, I was ready to get on here and almost kind of bait you into kind of raising the bar for the Steelers. Like, I'm looking at Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's on a heater right now. What are they? 7 straight wins.
7 straight. Mm-hmm.
Texans, 8 straight wins. Broncos, #1 seed, championship level defense. New England, 13 wins, breakout season for Drake May. Who am I missing? Chargers. They look a little shaky on the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo, while they got, playoff pedigree, they're not a complete team in my book. Run defense is not all that great. And then you look at Pittsburgh, and it's like, well, if the quarterback could get himself right.
When I look at Pittsburgh, all I see is inconsistency.
Sure. I get it. I'm just making bullet points.
And then DK Metcalf, you motherfucker.
I was gonna get to that.
Hey man. And I'm not even saying it because I quote unquote agree or disagree with what he did. He shouldn't have did it. And the only real reason I'm saying he shouldn't have did it is because he got suspended for 2 games, and I feel like that was a little excessive.
I thought he would have got one. I thought one was okay.
I thought the normal punishment for that was a fine, is what I was told. So when I saw 2 games, I'm like, ain't this a bitch? But then I'm like, all right, well, maybe we could just get past Cleveland. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because but
a lot of people have been saying his absence was felt.
Because Cleveland plays man to man.
Yeah,
DK Metcalf is a man to man. Like, that's who you want to play. That's who you want to have in a man to man situation. I mean, it's just like, God, and it's funny because I watched MVS try to fill that role. He couldn't do it. Calvin Austin was out, so they was using a lot of Scotty Miller. My God.
And then you got Darnell Washington with the broken forearm, and he's out for the year.
So he's out. So and then they still, for whatever reason, refuse to put Roman Wilson in position to play. He's just not getting snaps. I don't know what it is. Tomlin said something about some little exchange they're having, and he's getting better from it. I'm like, bro, don't nobody care. Put him on the field. He's the only receiver that, with the limited snaps he's had, has seen some separation playing against cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Give him some snaps, bro. What are we talking about? Adam Thielen not getting no separation. MVS not getting no separation. Scotty Miller ain't getting no separation. These are older wide receivers, like older and short. Well, I guess MVS and Thielen aren't short, but they're not getting separation, bro. So our two best wide receivers are out, and it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, you gonna
where
use
y'all
these...
beat Detroit though? With Gainwell, he had a nice game.
Well, they locked Gainwell. They locked.
Sure. I was just, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a little surprised knowing going into the game against Cleveland, y'all weren't going to have your top two receivers, and it looked like y'all weren't trying to find any other way to maybe get these guys the ball. It looked like you said, MVS was trying to play the DK role, and they just kept trying to force feed it, and it just wasn't working out, instead of diverting to another, playmaker that y'all had available to your, to your roster.
MVS didn't have a whole bunch of targets. So I think my MVS criticism is clearly that it doesn't seem like he came to play this past Sunday. And then again, it's like, bruh, what are you here for if you don't know what Aaron Rodgers want in that red zone situation for the game?
Yeah.
If you don't know what routes to run, what Aaron Rodgers is thinking, what are you here for? Because I thought we brought you here because you knew you had a rapport with Aaron Rodgers. You kind of know the things he wants to do and the situations that he wants to do them in. And too many situations in this one game, you weren't in the right position for him to make the throws. Again, this was a defensive game. It was a defensive game. It was 13-6, whatever. It was a damn we just needed a play. One play possibly changes this game.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, y'all, you couldn't even do that. MVS, you couldn't even do that one time. You couldn't get it right one time for the game when you had 3 tries in a row. That bugs the shit out of me. That bugs it. Why are you here?
And here we are, man.
Here we are.
Here
the fuck we are. I don't want to. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here talking about Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Week 18 for the AFC North when we could have got it this past Sunday after y'all lost to the Patriots and after we squeaked by against Detroit.
Squeak by is absolutely correct. On that Detroit one,
especially because nobody saw us winning. You know what I'm saying? And it still came down to the last play of the game.
Yeah, right. I thought y'all was gonna blow that game. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah. Everybody did.
It's the stuff that was happening on that last Lions drive. And God, what the hell's happened to them? But that last drive, everybody was saying, "Yo, they about to blow this game."
Yeah, I don't know what they were saying. I know I was here stressed. It's like God, why I don't want to be stressed. I just want to watch hey man, cool. Let's get a signature win. Let's get a good win. Let's have a decisive win. I'm not saying decisive like I'm expecting to win by 10 points. I'm just saying a game where at some point we take control in the end, and we know at the end of the game we about to lead off with the victory. But no, for some reason it always got to be down to the last fucking minute.
Had to make it
interesting. Like we got to make it interesting,
right.
and it's
right.
Don't nobody want to keep doing this every motherfucking week. Nobody wants to do this every week. Sometimes Sometimes I want to just in the fourth quarter have my feet up, chilling. Like man, this and just be chilling. Man.
Welcome
this ain't new for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh been like this since Ben Roethlisberger been gone.
Sure,
And hell, last 3-4 years of Ben Roethlisberger has been like this. But you know what I'm saying. But it's just dog, this is not good for my mental health, man. This shit is not good for my mental health, bro.
The NFL wanted it. They asked for it. They got it. Somehow, some way, they got it. So. Is
I
what it
haven't
is.
even checked to see who's going to be healthy, who's not going to be healthy. I don't know if Tomlin did his press conference or not, but shout out to the governor. Yes, sir. Hey
Shout out,
man,
Governor. Hey, Gov. Look, man, don't be trying to put this stuff out there, man. I know your pops is from Pittsburgh and all that good stuff, but don't be putting that out there, man. You're making it stressful again. Here we go talking about stress levels
I
here.
won't be. I promise you, I'm gonna talk about it on this podcast, and I'm not gonna think about it again unless something pops up on my timeline about somebody not playing or something of that nature. I'm not gonna think about it again until Sunday 8:20.
How far is TJ along?
I mean, I know he practiced last week, but I don't know if he's playing this week.
Mm-hmm.
He practiced last week. I guess he was trying to get into trying to play Sunday, but
Yeah.
Tomlin don't play that about like medical situations. Tomlin don't play that. He sit down.
I mean, you talk about a lung and
Yeah.
surgery. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I mean, if I was, the organization, I would just be like, "Hey, bro, relax, man." Like,
Well, he
he's
made it
trying to.
clear that this week he needs to be a full participant in practice, all week
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have a shot to play.
Right.
And but again, he ain't like him. His absence ain't the problem. That ain't the problem, bruh. Like we held him to 13, bruh. Like we should have been able to get 16 or 15 or 4. Like 1 point more than 30. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
but
you could use him for a game like this one on Sunday. I mean, I know it's hell for sure. I could use Lamar Jackson right about now, for this game. And this whole crap about this report that came out last week about him not having a good work ethic and he likes to play video games and all this stuff. Like, this stuff only comes out when the team isn't doing well or they're below expectations.
Mhm.
Like I don't got an issue with the video game stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather you play video games than be out, risking your life or risking your, your well-being in a club or someplace like that. I got no issue with the video game stuff. I mean, the whole work ethic stuff. That work ethic got him 2 league MVPs. Like to bring this stuff up now, I think is a bit ridiculous. And in regards to the contract situation, he's up for an extension. There's questions about how they go about doing that. He doesn't have his own agent. His mother is his agent, and so these negotiations are a little more stressful maybe on his part than it would be if he had an agent, but they've been down this road before. So so this whole stuff with with all this stuff coming out now. Look, Lamar, and hear me good for anybody out there listening, Ravens flock, whoever, if you're a fan of football, Lamar Jackson is not going anywhere from this team. He will be on this team 2026 and beyond. If anybody's going, it's going to be the coach. Mm-hmm. If things don't work out Sunday night, if the coach is probably going to be gone if they lose this game Sunday.
Let me ask you a question.
What's good?
This is year what for Lamar Jackson? This
year number 8.
Year number 8.
Yep.
How many? Do you believe Dak Prescott is ever going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas?
Dak Prescott ever going to? No.
Mm-mm. Okay. How many years before Lamar Jackson becomes Dak Prescott?
To the point where he's too expensive and there's just no.
Yeah, like where you like right now you still feel like Lamar Jackson can win a Super Bowl in Baltimore.
Yeah.
How many more years does he have in your mind?
He has. Look, I'll be honest with you, bro. And maybe I'm looking at it, subjectively. To me, he's a Raven for life. In my book, he's already, in my book, he's already going to the Hall of Fame when you win 2 league MVPs, regardless of whether you win a championship or not. So to me, he's a Raven lifer. So to answer your question, I would say probably another 5 years. I would say in another 5 years. I would also add that it is the responsibility of the general manager, that being Eric DeCosta, to build this defense the way it's supposed to be built. defensive line, pass rush, offensive line. And they've done a piss poor job of doing that the past couple of
And at this
seasons. To be honest
stage,
with you.
and to be even more honest, at this stage, your secondary ain't well. At least your cornerbacks, the cornerbacks ain't hitting on nothing
which is the
either.
most expensive part of the defense. They
Yeah.
keep putting resources to the secondary and they trash. You know, some of that has to do with them. Some of it has to do with who's coordinating the defense. Zach Orr, I don't think is the guy at this point because it's the second year in a row where the defense has started bad. To start just kick off these seasons. So they got to do better in that department. You can win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, but you also got to build this defensive lineup. You got to build this offensive lineup because that's really what's going to win you the championship. I mean, we saw the Eagles win a Super Bowl because their trenches were the best in football last year.
Yeah, but I think it was a little different because it wasn't just that.
Of course.
Specifically offensively, you got top tier quarterback, top tier running back, top tier receiver. Nat Ertz, Goddard is still one of them. Tight ends, and then your second receiver should be a starting receiver somewhere else in the league.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I think that hits a little different in Philadelphia. They just got shout out to that GM.
They got stars throughout that roster.
And then God lead the defense. Please don't even get started on the defense. But so that's a little different. But we agree that at the end of the day, they are they're not adequately using resources if they're talking about properly, if they're talking about having a Super Bowl team with no pass rush.
Yeah, like I don't need 5 safeties, bro. Like come on, man. Like put some money in that defensive line, man. That front
they tried with Jair though. They tried to get at Jair Alexander, and that experiment didn't go well, but they tried.
Definitely not. I mean, the Eagles, traded with us to get him, and he's on IR. He declared to not play.
Yeah, anymore. We had that similar thing with Darius Slay this year. So
yeah, right. So, yeah, they just got to figure out like getting back to the philosophy of building offensive defensive lines, man. They really kind of got to get back to that, man. So I wanted to do something a little different with as far as you got anything else you wanted to like talk about? I know we've been, we missed the last week's show, so I don't know if you had something you wanted to bring up before I kind of get into some stuff for week 18.
Let's get into week 18. I ain't really got nothing else for real.
Okay, all right, that's a bet. That's a bet. I wanted to do a little bit something different here because we're at this stage of the season where it's really all about playoff teams. If you eliminated, I don't care about you. I care about
because we do this every year.
What's up?
I done eliminated a couple of teams. I eliminated a couple of teams about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Now
sure. Of course, we predict that there's some teams that was gonna be out of this whole thing, but it's about these teams listed here right now. So I thought I'd start with the NFC conference here, and then just kind of go through what we think's gonna end up being the final 7 teams here. So Seattle and San Francisco, and by the way, what a game. Sunday night, San Francisco and Chicago. That was your traditional back and forth, shootout right there. But I'll give you my opinion real quickly after watching that game. I gotta tell you, bro, ain't none of them 2 teams going to the Super Bowl if neither one of them defenses play like that.
Let's be clear. Ain't none of them teams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, but that game made it more clear that you're not going to see either one of them teams there. So, so how we feeling about this? So Seattle's the 1 seed right now. They play the Niners in San Francisco Saturday night, and that's going to be for the number 1 seed. Obviously, San Francisco wins. They don't have to travel anywhere. It's pretty much 2 games, and then they get the Super Bowl in their own house if they get that far.
Yeah.
Seattle, kind of coming in on a good streak. Great comeback against the Rams a couple weeks ago, where the Shaheed punt return flipped the whole game there. And they beat Carolina this past week, so now they in position, man. So how you feeling about this game, and who you think's will end up being the 1 seed?
I'm sticking to my predictions, man. Seattle, man.
Yeah, I thought you would. I thought you would. The quarterback still gives me a little like hesitation, but he did what he did to beat the Rams. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He did what he did.
So if they lose, let's say if they lose, I mean, obviously they're still in the playoffs. They would just switch essentially, right? So Seattle would
swap. Right, so they would swap
Seattle
to 5.
Yeah. So then they Seattle would see Carolina again, and San Fran would have to bye, obviously. But
right.
Yeah.
Now, if San Francisco loses, the Rams could still leap over them. For the 5 seed, and the Rams would get their second shot against Carolina in that 4-5 matchup.
Yeah, but essentially this is the 7 unless Tampa Bay beats Carolina.
Correct. Now with the Tampa Bay Carolina situation, so I guess the Falcons kind of play a role in this thing because they beat the Rams last night.
Right.
They're 7-9 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're tied with Tampa for the same record. So if the Falcons beat the Saints on Sunday, regardless of what Tampa does, the division goes to Carolina. So Carolina loses to Tampa, but the Falcons beat the Saints. Carolina wins the 3-way tiebreaker.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, Falcons beating the Saints. I mean, I don't see why
that division been weird all year long.
All year, right? Yeah.
Saints. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Saints have the better division record. It feels like.
Yeah. Don't give me the line. How many wins they got? The Saints.
I think 5 or
6. 5
or 6 or something like
that. I thought it was 6. Yeah, I thought it was 6.
We know they beat. We know they beat the Bucks. We know they swept the Panthers.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 3 right there. I don't remember if they beat the Falcons the first go around, but it seems like the Falcons and the Saints are better teams than the Panthers and the Bucks right now. Bucks have lost 8 out of 9 or something crazy like that. They had a home stretch where they played Arizona, the Saints, the Falcons. They lose those games. They beat the Cardinals, but then they lose, those 2 home games in a row, and then they go down to South Beach, and the Dolphins beat them.
Yeah,
it's some crazy things going on, man. But look,
whoever
wins the South, man, congratulations. You just know you're getting your ass up out of there. Wild card weekend, man. Just know that.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at playing the Seahawks, the 49ers, or like you said, possibly the Rams. Yeah. We
ain't going for that. We
ain't jacking you beating none of them 3 teams.
Nah. I'd give Tampa a puncher's chance just because they're healthy again, and which is crazy because they got healthy and they still haven't been able to win these past few weeks. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. Todd Bowles might be looking for work if this thing don't work out for them. But I give the Bucks a chance. I give the Bucks a chance with that roster, up against any one of those teams. That's the 5.
Okay.
But Carolina, if you win the division, cool, congrats. You over-exceeded expectations, but I don't see you
making the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't see Carolina beating any one of those 3 teams out west in their building.
In their right. In Carolina,
because it would be in Carolina.
In Carolina, right?
It would be in Carolina.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, they've I think since like I'm trying to think since early October, they've had
Are we
win loss, win loss, win loss.
are we being disrespectful to Carolina and their fan base? Like they've done all this overachieving all year.
No,
You know
not
what
at
I'm
all.
saying? Look, I said I feel like I said something to the effect of
Hmm.
it would be a low key miracle if they won 8 games. I think I said 6 games when we
I thought you
had
said 6 when we
yeah,
had
I'm saying I
Sonya
think
on and we
yeah,
were
you're
going
right.
through the schedule.
I think I said it'd be a miracle if they won 6 games. And here they are 2 games over my expectations and possibly going winning their division and obviously having a home playoff game. So I mean, shit, like you know, may but are we? My question is,
Are we
are we not?
disrespecting the fan
Are we
base?
disrespecting the fan base and the team? Maybe more so the team than I'm concerned. I'm more concerned about the team than the fan base. But
No, I'm not. No, I don't. I don't think we are. I think we gave them their props. At least I've been. I've been giving them
I
their
gave them
props
their props. I
because
apologized.
they got some quality wins in the regular
Yeah,
season. They beat the Packers, and I know the Packers are sliding right now, but they beat them when they were, when they were one of the hottest teams, in the league. They beat the Rams when the Rams were one of the hottest teams. So
yeah,
they got some good wins on the resume. It's just that they're a young team and they're just trying to find consistency. And I think that's where this team falls short, is that every time they win a game, the following week, something happens and the inexperience kicks in. The Saints, they're getting swept by the Saints. At
yeah,
least not splitting with that particular team. That's a problem. But it doesn't change the fact that they've exceeded expectations.
100%,
They should
one
look
hundred
at this
percent,
season. They should look at this season as a win.
an
Something
opportunity to
interesting.
build on.
Exactly, an opportunity to build on this year, and something interesting that I thought about the other day. So this is Bryce Young's third season.
Hmm.
So this off season, he is extension eligible.
Right.
I'm thinking they're probably not going to give him the extension. I think they're just going to wait that thing out. I think it's 5 years. I think he's got a 5 year rookie deal, and I think they just kind of playing that thing out. And I think he eventually is the long term answer if they get playoffs next year, year after that. I think is
Yeah,
where
but
they'll give him a bag.
yeah, but you're gonna pay Bryce Young with the upper echelon as far as market wise after 5 years.
If they make the playoffs, like let's say they beat Tampa Sunday, that's playoffs year number one. They go to the playoffs again next year, and then they go again the year after that. I mean, what you gonna do if you're Carolina? And if he's a big
Well,
part of why, they back to this, perennial playoff team.
so what I'm thinking though, if if I'm Panthers GM,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, all right, I'm saying I'm evaluating right now. Can we get him a contract right now? That's what I'm doing. Can
Okay.
we get him a contract right now?
That makes sense. That
If he
makes
makes the
sense.
playoffs 2 more years
Mm-hmm.
and then the contract year and now it's that's more money that
Yeah.
they're gonna have leverage. They're gonna
Yep.
have leverage at that point.
Yep.
So
Yep.
at this stage, if I'm the Panthers GM, I'm like, hey man, how can we get you in right now for 40 million?
Mm-hmm.
40 million a year. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy.
Right.
Or
Right.
30 or really right now, we could probably get you at 35,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere between 35, 38 every year.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we can build a team around you.
Right.
And now we're talking about possibly building a Super Bowl roster
Mm-hmm.
in your, what I'm saying, as opposed and it's just all a part of get the quarterback cheap so we can build around. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That type of situation. Now, obviously, this will be his second contract, so we ain't talking about rookie money, but
Right.
we just talking about, hey man, if we can get you for the, second tier quarterback rate
Yeah.
and build around you type of thing as you ascend to being a top dog if he's ever becomes one. You know what I'm saying?
That
Let's
would
try to
build
get you for that.
confidence for both sides, though, too. I think you make a good point. Like, I think if you came to him this offseason and said, hey, look, man, we we see the improvement. We see the numbers, and we see the better decision making. We want to lock you in right now, man, because we think you're gonna get better, and we're gonna be able to build a team around you. And I think it bodes well for both sides to really gain that confidence. That's smart.
Ross,
It's smart on them
yeah.
to approach it
If they would do
way.
it that way, yeah. I mean, obviously he could say, "Nah, I don't want that. I want to, give me my money, like
Yep.
But right now would be the perfect time because it's like, am I really there yet? I don't know. Like, nah, we believe in you right now. Now let us get you a number one wide receiver. No shade to Tet and you know what I'm saying, and Jimmy Horns of the world, but y'all that number ones yet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
JC
Let's
Horn.
get.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the cat from Colorado, Jimmy Horn at wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like it's like, all right, let's get you a number one so these guys can kind of naturally progress, get slide in. So now Ted is a number two, and I don't know where Jimmy is in the depth chart situation, but you know what I'm saying. But like, let's get you a legitimate number one that you could throw to when you're not open, when they not open, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. We got
Yep.
we got Rico, and Rico is not, I'm sure he's not expensive. And even if he asks for more money in the offseason, it's not like he's gonna be asking for Saquon.
Not gonna be a lot.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably gonna be like 6 to 8, maybe 10.
They got a good
you know
1-2 punch there, running back. Chuba Hubbard's not bad either. Like,
he been there for years. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, like you can lock down offense pretty much that way. I don't know who their tight end is. I don't watch enough Carolina football, so I don't know if the tight end is good, bad, elite, or not. But I'm just saying you could build around him. The defense is pretty good. Maybe you're short of a dominant pass rusher. Like, let's try to find a
secondary is starting to come along.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, these are pieces you could build if you don't have to, give Bryce Young $45-50 million.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that approach being taken by the team. I could also see Bryce saying, "Hey, appreciate you, but I feel like I'm ascending, and I want to be able to, bet on myself. So I ain't gonna be mad at that either."
But
always about the player, trying to get more for his value, or what he thinks his value is. With that being said, man, Panthers are gonna beat the Bucks on Sunday. Panthers are gonna get that 4th seed.
I kind of think I just want Carolina to get it at this stage of the game.
No, I do. I
kind of just want it.
I've wanted it for about a month now, to be honest with you. Like, I've watched some of their games. Like, when they're really on, they're on. But it's just the inconsistencies. With a young team like that. But yeah, give me, they lost last week, and I'm just going to continue the trend. They'll win this week, and then they'll lose in the wild card round. Let me address this real quick, just so folks don't, think I'm, avoiding questions here. Shout out to our chat, shout out to our YouTube and our, Facebook chats, from @NotJesus8687 on the YouTube chat. So why does Lamar choke? What's his problem if it's not his process?
Did we get into a process conversation? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know that we got into a process conversation unless he's referring to the report that came out this week about
got you
the video games and how he comes to practice and sometimes late to meetings, things like that. To answer the Lamar choking part, he is to blame for some of the past playoff failures, but I would also recommend you to go watch the defensive play of this team in the playoffs also, and tell me whether or not you think the defense is carrying their end of the bargain, because all these games that Lamar has started in the playoffs, he has not gotten help from his defense. Maybe two turnovers is the one stat I could think of in those 8 playoff games that he started. Yeah. Only 2 turnovers from the defense. No, 3rd down, 4th down sacks, no game-changing plays, no strip fumbles. We see these kinds of things in the playoffs, with other, championship level teams. We just haven't seen it with this defense in the playoffs either. So, Lamar shares some of that blame as well, but the defense got to share some of that too.
Yeah, I don't know if choke is the appropriate word. And it goes back to a conversation we had a couple of 3 weeks ago about Lamar Jackson. Where it's like you gotta let Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson. The things that defenses fear about Lamar Jackson is hey, yeah, I could try to throw the ball, but right now, if I'm looking at a hole that I could run through, I'm gonna go ahead and run through that thing and get you 15.
Right.
And because y'all fear that.
Right.
And until y'all decide to give me what I need throwing wise, I'm gonna make one read, and if I don't see that, I'm gone. I think that was MVP, or at least first MVP year Lamar Jackson, when we're talking about 3,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, that type of energy. 35, 40 touchdowns total.
With the receivers he had that year.
You know what I'm saying?
With the running backs, he had an old Mark Ingram, and Mark Ingram was really good that year.
Yeah. But he was able to be good, and because of the threat that Lamar Jackson might just get out of here and leave Earth on y'all real quick. So it's just like that's not how they use Lamar Jackson, at least in recent history. That's not how they use Lamar Jackson anymore. They trying to make him be a quarterback. And for better or for worse, I think that limits his game. I think that limits what defenses truly fear about Lamar Jackson. And at least if you were going to go that route, get him a damn number one receiver, man.
Yeah.
Get him a number one. Zay Flowers is a good wide receiver. Like that's nothing. That's not shade to him. He's just not dominant.
Right.
He's just not dominant. He's not
run the ball more. Run the ball more.
And look, what the Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, y'all.
At 31 years old.
This ain't rocket science. And that's why we had that heated debate months ago when y'all lost to Detroit. It ain't rocket science. Either Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson should run the ball way more than that ball should be thrown. And more times than not, you're going to be highly successful as a team because you're keeping your defense off the field, who's some trash. And you're probably going to end the drive in points. 3 or 7, but probably 7, because don't nobody want to tackle Lamar Jackson. Don't nobody want to tackle Derrick Henry, and can't nobody catch Lamar Jackson.
It's been a problem this entire year. I don't know, bro. I don't know who.
So it's just So because it's the reason every year, right? Why there's Kansas City, there's Buffalo, and then there's Baltimore. Like it's a reason. It's a reason why y'all are in that conversation.
They keep trying to change up. They change up in the playoffs. Stop changing up in the playoffs. Run what y'all run in the regular season.
Well, I hope y'all don't run it on Sunday. I'll say that.
Well,
don't give him the ball 36 times.
You don't want to know what 10. I think. You don't want to know what I think about that because it seems like there's this thing where Lamar. I mean, I'm about to say Lamar Huntley, Tyler Huntley. When he starts games, they got no choice but to give it to Derrick Henry. It seems like they more fitted with that, but Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. Oh, we could just give Derrick Henry 12, 15 carries, and it's like no, get that man 20 plus carries. Get that man 20 plus carries. Lamar gonna get his. Don't worry, the receivers are gonna get theirs.
And if they don't, so the hell what?
Right. We won a game. We beat the Cincinnati Bengals throwing 12 times. Like, come on. Like, it's not like we can't win games when Lamar has a bad game or doesn't have like the gaudy stats or anything like that. Like,
stop. Y'all make it difficult on yourselves. That's what I'm saying. Y'all make it difficult on yourselves. It's not like and it irritates me, but it also makes me happy. It makes me feel like we always got a shot. Obviously, division Pittsburgh, Baltimore is always going to be a thing, but it's like, okay, if y'all just going to deviate from what your strengths is, cool. Yeah, cool. No, don't even hand him the ball. Matter of fact, go on and get Ali and Keegan Mitchell in there. Go ahead and get them some touches, man.
Man,
Go ahead.
These dudes set a rotation. I'm like, look, because I've asked for Keaton Mitchell to get, and it was more so because he was inactive like the first 5-6 games of the year, knowing this guy's got some speed. I was calling for him to get touches, but I wasn't calling for this dude to be like, oh, he's the dude in the fourth quarter. Like, no. Keaton can get 10 touches. Derrick Henry better have his 20-plus touches in the football game. You can balance it out now. Like, I think that's a fair distribution of who should be getting what.
Yeah.
Forget a damn rotation. It's the playoff run, man. It's the chase to the playoffs. Ain't got no time for that,
like,
man.
Your team hasn't changed drastically.
Blew a game against the Patriots. A game we could have won easily.
Yeah, man.
Wild stuff, man.
I woke up. I said, "Oh shit, they lost." I said, "Oh shit." I said, do I got to be humble right now?"
What, Miss Sonia? Hey, Sonia. Hey, happy holidays to you.
Do I gotta be humble?
Happy holidays to you, Sonia. We were just
kind
of having a discussion about your team.
And, I apologize if you didn't get it from the other episode. I apologize. I should have never shitted on y'all like that, man. I should have never shitted on y'all. I apologize.
Yeah, less than her predicted 12 wins, but they overachieved. They overachieved this year. It was a successful year for the Panthers.
She would say they underachieved. No.
Well, yeah, she probably would, but they win Sunday. They going to the playoffs.
They going to the playoffs. When last time they been to the playoffs?
It's been a minute, man. Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Since Cam Newton, man. So, congrats again. So you got the Seahawks. You said you're gonna stick with the Seahawks.
I'm gonna stick with the Seahawks.
I will. I think the Niners are going to get the 1 seed.
Okay.
They're at home.
I don't have much of an argument. Yeah, I don't have much of an argument outside of that's what I predicted.
They've been quiet. They've really the whole year. They've survived not having Fred Warner, not having Nick Bosa. They lost Trent Williams on the first play on Sunday. That's going to be huge moving forward for them. Kittle's been in and out of the lineup. Brock Purdy been in and out of the lineup, but Brock Purdy's had a couple of great weeks, man. A couple 5 touchdown performances there. I'll pick San Francisco. I think, when you talk about pedigree, this team still got it, regardless of the missing pieces that are important pieces, by the way. That this team still has the DNA. I don't think we talk enough about, because, they've been saying, this is Josh Allen's, time with Mahomes not being in the playoff picture. You could almost apply that to the 49ers in a sense too, because they've been, they've been having the bugaboos with the Chiefs, in a couple Super Bowls themselves. So,
maybe.
For them, it may be now or never for them too.
Yeah, but they still, I don't know if they beat Philly right now. I know that's not who they playing. I'm just saying.
Sure.
As I'm looking at the picture, I don't know if they beat Philly right now. I don't know if they beat Los Angeles right now.
Mm-hmm.
And outstanding. And again, just because, and more so because of my prediction than because of how the teams are built. I don't know that they beat Seattle right now. Like. I'm not concerned about Carolina. Obviously, I'm not concerned about Chicago.
Right.
This year.
Teams with the best defenses in this conference, the Rams, Eagles, Seattle. We agree there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see one of those 3 teams taking the 49ers out in a playoff situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that for sure. Um, so yeah, and so you got Chicago and Philly, number 2, number 3. Um, I'm trying to think. That probably still going to hold right after Sunday. The Bears host the Lions
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday, and Philly, I think, has the Commanders at home. So I mean, this is really more about Chicago beating Detroit. They locked that 2 seed up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change.
I mean, if it did, so what?
Uh,
They all in there. You know what I'm
well,
saying? Like
well,
they.
well.
I'm saying
The
so.
Packers are locked into that 7 spot.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying so what because these teams outside of Carolina and Tampa Bay are in. I mean, we obviously we don't know who's going to play who until things are knotted
Right.
in. Ain't nobody moving. So like these are the teams. I think we both agree that we're looking at the playoff picture in the NFC. Like we don't have Tampa Bay swapping with Carolina. I like you said, you got San Fran getting the number 1 and Seattle getting the 5. We disagree there, but nobody
Yep.
is losing a playoff seeding
Right.
this
No
week.
movement. Right. Rams stay at the 6, right? We agree
Yeah,
Rams will stay at the 6.
yeah,
Green Bay's locked in at the 7. If you're the Bears, you'd rather host the Packers
obviously.
or the Rams.
Packers, obviously,
Okay. All right.
obviously.
Okay. Now, we'll see what the health of Jordan Love is because he had a concussion, right?
Yeah,
So he's trying to get out of protocol.
Yeah,
Yeah, he should be ready for the playoffs, I would imagine.
yeah. So would I.
I would imagine. I can understand if you a Bears fan and you say to play this team for a third time, knowing how well Green Bay knows Chicago, that they could be ripe for an upset.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a Bears fan might be like, you know what? I'd rather see somebody else that don't know us like that. Like, like the Rams or somebody like that. I could see that argument being made.
Yeah, sure. But well, no, I say this. I like this lineup. I like this lineup. By the way, I like Chicago, Green Bay. I like Philly, Rams. I like
Rematch from last year.
Yeah. Like I like if things should stay just how they are. In my opinion, I would like things to stay where they are.
Okay. All right. That's a bet. Let me shout out to the chat. Shout out to you, Sonia. Pull up the AFC side of things real quick. All right. All right. Broncos, number 1 seed. They play the Chargers, and I heard that they're resting Justin Herbert. So to me, Denver's getting the 1 seed there.
Yep.
No change there. Patriots, they got the Dolphins on Sunday at home. Jacksonville, they got the Titans, I think at home too. So
okay.
I know Jacksonville can go as far as the number 2 seed, but I think that, given Miami's situation, I think the Patriots should be able to, handle business, lock up that 2 seed. Jacksonville, they still got to play because they haven't locked up the South yet because Houston can still, take the South from them. And then, you got the Chargers there at 6. I think they could fall to 7 if they're going to, rest Justin Herbert. Buffalo's got the Jets on Sunday. You think they'd handle business there. You figure Buffalo jumps up to maybe the 6th spot. Depending on what happens with the Texans. Texans might kind of call the dogs off if they see Jacksonville kind of pulling away early. So we'll see. What's your thoughts?
Oh man, honestly, I wish there was a way for Buffalo to get to or lost the Chargers or Buffalo to get up to number 5. That's what I wish. Because I'd rather see one of them 2 teams than the Texans.
Yeah. That front 7.
Yeah, I definitely would rather see Buffalo or the Chargers. But yeah, I mean that's pretty open and shut. I believe in speaking things in fruition, so I'm not even going to talk about the idea that if Baltimore, like I'm speaking as if Pittsburgh is in the playoffs, this is what's going to happen by Monday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at New England versus Buffalo, good game. Even though I would prefer Pittsburgh to see Buffalo at home in Acrisure. Um, Jacksonville. Did Jacksonville get out the first round in your mind?
Do they get out of the first round? Meaning, do they win the game?
Yes.
If they draw the Chargers, yes.
Okay.
If they draw the Chargers, yes. I think if they draw the Texans, that's part 3 right there.
Yeah.
I think the Texans might get them up out of there. If they draw the Bills, they run game ain't strong enough for me to really pick Jacksonville over Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's Buffalo's weakness is stopping a run, but and I like Travis Etienne. I like him really good, but I don't know that you could get that man 20 plus carries and he's gonna be able to carry the offense like that. To me he's just not that type of runner. So yeah, I think, and look, I've been saying for a while now, like if I had to pick my final 4 in this conference, it would be Broncos, Patriots, Texans, Buffalo. That would be my final 4. Now, obviously, this ranking could change after Sunday. And if you got, let's say you got a Jacksonville going up against the Chargers, then that changes things. So, I'm picking Jacksonville in that situation. I guess the real question would be, can we see Jacksonville in the AFC Championship game?
Hell no.
A hell no? Okay. Not even a no, a hell no.
I can't see that.
Okay. Because I'm looking at a very inexperienced Patriots team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Stephon Diggs, hope that situation that whole situation pan out.
I hope you ain't choke Shorty out. I ain't read the story, but I hope you ain't really choke Shorty out.
Yeah, hope he could miss time depending on how that situation play out.
Yeah, and again, I'm not super knowledgeable of what happened and what the story says, but I doubt that he's going to get suspended before this season is over.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's just accusations at this point, right?
Right. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. Well, but still, you got a very inexperienced Patriot team. You got a Texans team that's got some experience in the playoffs past couple of years. You got Chargers team I think they're going to be limping in. Offensive line is still beat up. Justin Herbert, the hand. I don't know that they could even survive the first round, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville. I think their ceiling is AFC Championship game.
Okay.
Based on the way they've played, and that was a good win against Denver a couple weeks ago. That was a really good win for them.
Yeah, I still feel I still don't really feel like I have a grip on how good this team is, or what I've seen from Jacksonville. I don't have any faith in what I've seen from Jacksonville. Let me just say that. I still don't have faith. I know they've had good wins. Obviously 12-4 is nothing to sneeze at.
Right. Beat quality teams, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not denying it. That, we going into week 18, 12-4. That's nothing. Again, that's nothing to turn up your nose at.
Strength of victory is the best out of everybody.
Yeah, I just don't know if I don't know. I just don't know if I believe them. If they get a playoff win, maybe I feel different. I just don't know if I believe them. Right.
Well, Trevor Lawrence does have a playoff win. And, granted it was 3 years ago. But I'm trying to be fair. If I'm going to bring up everybody else's playoff experience, I have to bring up Trevor Lawrence's playoff experience, and that was a 27-point comeback by the way.
But
So
I remember. But it hit different when you talking about Jacksonville beating the Chargers that year,
that year.
or as opposed to Josh Allen's playoff run. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, no, I get it.
we're just not having the same conversation when you're talking about playoff experience. That's not to say he didn't have any experience. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Right.
just saying. I mean, but shit, man. If you keep it a buck, man, the only two teams that have quarterbacks with playoff experience is Pittsburgh and Buffalo, and
Yeah.
we don't believe we don't. Let me say, I don't know what Pittsburgh finna do. I'm not excited about it though. Let me say it that way.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
if the Ravens get this 4 seed, I mean, there's really nothing to be excited about there either. Although I will
and that's
say,
plenty of playoff experience.
right, and I will say, I think the narrative on the Ravens, I think, will slightly change if they end up being that 4 seed, because it's going to be the whole, well, Lamar's in the tournament now. There's no Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is your other, playoff ghost, if you will. If you could get by him, then maybe you could get by some of these other teams. That's going to be the narrative, if the Ravens end up being the 4 seed. With Pittsburgh, it'll be a totally different narrative.
Do you feel like if Baltimore wins the 4 seed, there are going to be people that says they can make it to the Super Bowl?
I don't think they're going to be people that say they make it to the Super Bowl, but I do think that people are going to say they should be able to advance in the tournament.
Okay. Meaning get out the wild card.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think there's a lot of confidence from people about Pittsburgh if they get, the 4 seed.
Understood. As far as expectation, I can see that. As far as if Lamar Jackson is playing in his playoffs, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you 100%. Like about what people may be saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, like you said 5 years. That would be year 11, 12 for Lamar Jackson before you start to feel like maybe this guy isn't a Super Bowl quarterback. Based on trend, how I feel like the front office treats or puts together teams in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
5 years might be a little lenient.
Well, like I said, I think he's a Raven for life. I think the team should approach it that way.
I think Dak Prescott is a Cowboy for life. I think he's going to retire.
Me too.
Cowboy.
Me
but
too.
I also don't believe he's going to win a Super Bowl in his career.
Yeah, not with the Cowboys.
I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win one, and I don't think he's going to another team. So I think that he will be a great regular season quarterback, a great like Hall of Fame status, at least statistically. He'll be
like a Phillip Rivers type.
Exactly. But I think that's where the buck stops, and I don't almost want to say fear, but I wonder if that's going to be what it is for Lamar Jackson, like good regular season quarterback, does all the things, collects all the stats.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, either they'll scapegoat and say he don't have what it takes, or at least people will be objective and say they never really gave him a shot to get a Super Bowl.
The team, right? The way they build the team, Like it's like they switched up on how to build the defense. The moment he got there, so. But you can say that about quite a few quarterbacks too. I think the conversation about Josh Allen and his trajectory, I mean, we could certainly question that also, because the way they've built their defenses and their teams, the argument, the same thing could still apply to him.
Yeah, that's
true. No number one receiver. No
real pass rush, no dominant pass rush. Let me say that.
Right. No, not an elite front four, front seven, that kind of a thing. So it could apply to him also, man. But yeah, this is going to be some very interesting playoffs this year, man.
Well, let's just get past week 18, man.
Yep. We'll see about that, man. We will see. Man, if you got nothing else, man, quick shout outs to everybody in the Facebook live chat, YouTube live chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Also, we got Sports and Heels in the IG live chat.
What up?
What up? What up?
Happy belated
y'all.
birthday to you.
Yes. Happy belated. Happy belated to you. She been traveling all over the place. Good for you. Don't forget, folks, continue to follow us on social media, Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2, Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Follow us on Twitch as well. If you got questions, comments, hit us up on the email, barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. And last show of the 2025 year, man.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to bigger and better things for 2026 for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yep, no doubt. For the last time this year, love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey shot with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.